All right, Donald, John, Trump.
And I'm doing the same thing with China. We're going to tariff the hell out of them. And we're going to put very serious tariffs on Mexico and Canada.
Donald Trump has made an announcement, the birth of a new U.S. government agency called the External Revenue Service, ERS. It will be born next Monday, January 20th, the day of his inauguration. Trump said all of this on social media. He said the new agency will collect tariffs, duties and revenue from foreign sources. A small problem with that though. Tariffs are not collected from foreign sources. They are collected from importers. Importers who are sitting in America. The name External Revenue Service has a nice ring to it, but it's not really accurate. To understand this, let's dive into the tariff debate, starting with the most basic question: what is a tariff? It is a tax on an imported good. Anything made abroad. Let's say a car is manufactured in China, made in a Chinese factory by Chinese employees. Let's assume that the manufacturing cost of this car is $20,000. This includes the cost of material and the wages paid to the Chinese employees, $20,000. So what happens when this car is built and ready for export? It's not like the Chinese government or the factory will open up a stall in the US. Xi Jinping is not meeting American border guards. He's not slipping them a 50 to get in and sell Chinese goods in the US. No, the Chinese factory has a partner sitting in the United States, someone who buys the car from them and then sells it in America. This partner is the importer. The importer pays $20,000 for the Chinese car, plus of course the shipping cost. Then they try to sell it at one of their showrooms in the United States. So the Chinese factory made money even before the car hit the streets. Their part is done. It is the US-based importer who has to sell it further to American citizens. So when Donald Trump imposes tariffs, it is the same US-based importer who pays the additional amount. Trump says he will impose a blanket 10% tariff on all imports. He threatened higher tariffs on Mexico and Canada, going up to 25%, and China may have it even worse, tariffs as high as 60%, 60. So let's go back to our car example and add the 60% tariff to the equation. The US-based importer paid $20,000 for the Chinese car. He paid another 10% as shipping cost, which brings it to $22,000. That was the importer's original cost. He would have sold the car for maybe $23,000 to make a profit. But now the importer has to pay a 60% tariff as well. So $20,000 for the car, $2,000 for shipping, and then a whopping $12,000 in tariffs, coming to a total of $34,000. If the importer still wants to keep his profit the same, he needs to charge $35,000 for his made-in-China car. So who is making money here? And who's really paying? The Chinese factory is not affected. It was paid $20,000 for the car. The importer made his $1,000 profit. The US government, however, made a lot of money. They made $12,000 in tariff revenue. And who paid them that money? It is the American consumer. That's right. The average American is the one paying for these tariffs. And that is why Donald Trump's External Revenue Service seems like a marketing gimmick. Because the revenue won't be external. It will be shelled out by American citizens. So then why is Trump doing it? It will definitely lead to soaring inflation. There is no debate about that. However, there might be long-term benefits. Think about what you would do in a situation like this. A foreign good is suddenly more expensive, but domestic goods still cost the same. The Chinese car was $23,000. It is now $35,000. Meanwhile, the American car was $30,000, and that price remains the same, $30,000. So it is suddenly cheaper than the foreign alternative. Wouldn't you consider buying local then? This is protectionism 101. Make foreign goods more expensive, forcing your citizens to buy local. It's not a new strategy. It's been done all over the world to protect domestic industries. America has lost a lot of its manufacturing jobs over the years. It has outsourced operations to foreign countries, to places like China, where they don't have to pay employees that much. The wages are lower. But with tariffs, China loses that cost advantage. American companies won't have much to gain by manufacturing goods abroad, so they might as well move back to the US, and this is why foreign nations are spooked by Trump's tariffs. Because demand for their exports will go down. Companies might relocate to the United States. They might move back home. So the foreign nation will be left with an empty factory and mass layoffs. That is why tariffs are a threat. Not because they will have to pay added fees, but because of the long-term ramifications. Those are the pros and cons of tariffs in a nutshell. But I should add something here. Moving manufacturing jobs takes time. It does not happen overnight. So at least in the short run, Americans will have to deal with rampant inflation. And don't think that there won't be any retaliation, because America exports goods too. If it imposes a blanket tariff, if every other nation is targeted, then there will be reciprocal tariffs, leading to a global trade war. Everyone could start opting for protectionism, changing the global economic order as we know it.
From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, shedding light on the world's top headlines, detailed analysis on the stories that matter the most to you. Catch it all on Spotlight at 6 p.m. India time and 12:30 GMT, only on Firstpost.